Hello, welcome back to Spot Hidden. I am in the GM seat, and London is to my, to my left right here as a player, and I cannot be more excited to let him take a step down just to relax a little bit as we're coming back, because it's been a minute, has it not? That's a direct...
No.
Oh, okay. No.
This is the internet. Time.
That's true. That's true, especially if you're watching on YouTube, which either way, we appreciate you being here now. We appreciate you tuning in later. It is good to be back with a one-shot, The Nightmare Flight. I'm very excited for this one. We're going to try to keep it to a nice, quaint 2.5 hours. But without further ado, I want to introduce everyone here with me. So we are going to start with the one and only London Carlisle. Hello, London.
Hi, how's it
good
going?
to see you. Welcome back.
Good. Oh, am I introducing myself to the good people out here, or?
Oh, I'm just introducing everyone, and then to the side of London.
Oh, hi. Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm London. Nice to meet you.
And to the other side of London, there we have the one and only Michael Scott as well.
Hello.
And yeah, there is relation. He was the correct me if I'm wrong, but there is direct relation to the Michael Scott.
Yeah, me and Steve Carell. He's my brother, actually.
Nice.
Long-lost brother.
Wow.
Older. Yeah, that's why I get my regularly good looks and all my sense of humor.
Perfect. And then, of course, Price Everett, it's good to have you, buddy. How are you?
Great to be here. Second time on Spot Hidden, and I'm super excited and scared.
Oh, yeah. Well, no reason. Well, you're just, I mean, is it because of heights or?
Yeah, we'll go with heights.
Okay. I mean,
Yep.
There's nothing else that's going to happen. And then,
Yeah,
of course
not. This is just a slice of life, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In 1928, Flight was, that is one thing I will ask all of you right now, tuning in. Don't worry, Huddy. I haven't forgotten about you. Put yourself in that mindset. It is 1928. Flight is very rare nowadays, and it was for the 1%ers, you know, the very wealthy. But, of course, I cannot forget, last but certainly not least, my good friend, Huddy Hubbard. How are you, man? Cool. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah. That's
We
great.
can't hear you.
No, we can. Don't listen.
Oh, you sound clear. man.
Ahoy!
Hello.
Ahoy! I knew something was wrong. I was like,
Ahoy.
"Wow, my mic's really soft in my ear." Hey, everybody, welcome. I am so happy to be back here in Spot Hidden Studios.
Oh yeah.
We don't actually have a studio.
This is 100% a studio. I actually have London to my left here, and then Huddy, you're over across the room.
Yeah, and I actually have Humphrey Bogart behind me. It's really weird.
Yeah.
He's huge in real life.
We did have to borrow a studio with the remaking of that film that I know. So
Casablanca.
Gone with the Wind.
Say it, Matt. It's Casablanca.
Gone with the Wind.
No.
Close.
The Nightmare
Maltese
Flight.
Falcon.
Maltese Falcon.
Now that's close.
Is that a bird? Again.
Citizen Blanca.
Oh my gosh. Yet again, we are going to be running through the scenario, The Nightmare Flight. It is set in the 1920s. It's Call of Cthulhu scenario. Of course, not following pulp rules, very traditional rules, as we know with Call of Cthulhu. And this one is written by Romans Popovs. I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You can find this on Drive-Thru RPG. They made it with the RPG Writer Workshop, which London and I have taken a part in. It's a great course to learn a lot of the we outs with writing if you do intend to publish. And of course,
I didn't finish.
Me neither.
Why?
We do recommend checking out the Drive-Thru RPG if you haven't already. It's a great place to find resources. So if you don't want to homebrew, if you don't want to find something in one of the source books, because one of your players has already done it, it's a great place to find original material. So I highly recommend Drive-Thru RPG. In the meantime, let's get right into it. The Nightmare Flight is in the autumn of 1928. We have the Nibelung, is how I'm going to be pronouncing it, if anyone would like to correct me.
Jeez Louise, you just made
Got him.
blow up, and we have that all on footage. Wow.
Oh my god.
Very accurate.
That was
Clip that chat.
Very accurate.
that was a
Go forward.
gusher that just
Gotcha.
came out of your-
This is gonna be a crazy trip. I can already tell. I'm
Maybe-
so sorry.
So
I'm so sorry.
this flight is called the NIBE Nibelung. It is, of course, I believe, German. I'm not really sure. We'll say Nibelung, maybe? Is that sounding better? Is that going to... We can hold all of our the liquids we consume with
got-
Nibelung?
Ian in the chat. He says,
Ian!
sounds good enough. Our resident German expert.
Thank you, Ian. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope that... what? That is much worse. What? Okay, someone... Okay, as I'm giving a rundown, someone give me a pronunciation.
How's it spelled?
Nibelung.
Nibelung, something like that. I took 2
Nibelung?
semesters of German. I'm not saying I'm right, but I took 2 semesters, made a B and a C, and a B though. Made a B one time.
Nibelung. Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you, Ian.
Nibelung.
I hope the cross-country trip went well, and it's good to see you back with us. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. All right. So the Nibelung is a airship. It was funded by its captain, who we will meet very soon, to set sail for Germany from the Americas, and specifically coming from, in this case, New Jersey. And let me, of course, confirm these details. Yes. So we are setting sail this night, the night itself. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Ended with COVID. Well, I hope everyone is doing well. But let's kick this off. Yes, lots of love out to you all. I hope everyone's doing okay there, Ian. In this case, we are, of course, setting sail on the evening of the 29th of October, 1928. It is a Monday. I'd say it's close to dinner, or about maybe a couple hours out from a standard maybe 6 or 7 in the evening. You find yourselves boarding the ship. And by we, I, of course, mean the wonderful Lou Hornsby, Tommy Gillespie, and Jack O'Connor. They find themselves with their bags, all with their intentions for why they're boarding this ship, as well as why they are setting off to Germany. It is projected to be a 3-week flight. In this case, we're going to be cutting down some time a little bit because, well, it's real fast. So, no. They put nitrous on this thing. So, in any case, you are boarding. They are taking tickets at the entry little ramp there as you're boarding on this cabin that, of course, is below that balloon. You can tell there's 2 cabins, or 2 decks, excuse me. There's the main deck that you are boarding, and you can see the one below that as well. So you haven't had much communication as, of course, you got through the whole checks and, checks with the passports, things like that, to make sure the trip will go well. But if I could please get a spot hidden from... we have not met them yet, but from Tommy, Jack, and Lou. I have to start off with a spot hidden once we're back. All right. Let me know what you roll.
Cha-ching. Hard success.
Success.
And Mike, how are we looking?
Also a success.
Perfect. The
You
3
got
of you.
hard success, Mike.
Ooh, that's right.
The hardest of successes.
The 3 of you just happen to look. Maybe it starts with Jack O'Connor right in the middle there. Look into the right. His gaze catches your eye. You then look to the right. And all 3 of you see a figure just sprinting across this airfield, missed by anyone. You can't even make out what it is, aside from the fact that it is bipedal in nature. It is quick, but then suddenly fades out, disappearing behind this Zeppelin, this blimp here. You push it off, thinking maybe it could be a mechanic or something, kind of last minute check with luggage, who knows. But of course, you ascend that ramp, giving your ticket over and boarding this airship. After a moment, everyone is boarded. You'd reckon you saw maybe over 15 people board. You couldn't get an exact head count, but the airship then takes off with a whoosh and starts to ascend towards the clouds. This feeling is something you've never felt before. Again, at this time, air travel was very, very rare. Yeah, there's something on the wing. Air travel is very rare, very hard to access. To get here, of course, all of you had your own methods, and we will go over that here in a moment as all of you are summoned to the dining hall. There's tables scattered about, of course, circle tables with white linen draped over, very elegant chairs to match, of course, with wine sitting on the center and the spread of dish and china and silverware all about. As you're walking towards this dining hall, we'll first, of course, acquaint ourselves with the cabins, look out the windows as everyone is gazing upon the clouds, or as you ascend to the clouds, that landscape in the distance. Lou and Tommy, you're standing there together. Is there anything you might be discussing? Of course, we are acquainted with each other, whether it be newly in this airport of sorts, the location you'll travel to. It could be friends from before. What is it you're discussing here?
I don't think I've met Tommy before. Love to know where you're from. What do you do?
Well, Lou, we did just meet at the gate, but I'm from Chicago. Run a radio station out there. Trying to open a new radio station, but just trying to learn some more. Those Germans over there, they got some crazy stuff going on, and never know what kind of tech they got going on over there with the radios and everything. And I ain't paying for this flight, so it's why not take a vacation over in Europe?
You a ball fan? You a baseball fan?
Baseball fan, yeah, of course. Go Cubs.
Go Cubs.
And Tommy, what is Lou looking at when he looks at Tommy here? What kind of behavior? What kind of person is Tommy here?
Tommy he's about 35 years old. He's well dressed, not in the sense that his clothes look expensive, but just that he seems to keep good care of decent clothes, kind of a classic 20s, 3-piece suit with the hat. No tie though. He seems to not like ties very much. Not too, he's about maybe not quite 6 feet tall. And slight, I wouldn't say he's heavy set, but he's a little, he's probably had a few beers in his life. Yeah.
Gotcha. And of course, Lou, same to you. What is Tommy looking at as you two are meeting?
The best way I could describe Lou is nondescript. Man is 5'9.5", normal build, in a nice but not too nice suit. You can tell he knows the nice things in life. He's come from a wealthy-ish family, but he's very nondescript. You wouldn't pick him out of a crowd, no matter how big the crowd is. He's kind of just going about his day and trying just to blend in as much as he can.
And coming from behind you, as you both are discussing the sports and anything else you might find conversation about, we see a Jack O'Connor passing by. He also had a brief conversation with you in this terminal in this airport here. Jack, you stopped to catch up on this conversation as well. Who are they looking at?
How's it going, boys? Now, Jack O'Connor, he's from New York, and Jack served in World War I, and served in the infantry. He was at a couple of the very large skirmishes on the Western Front. And Jack is about 6 foot. He's kind of a medium-built physique. And he has a tattoo on his back, a very large tattoo. But, Jack's that kind of, all-around kind of American guy. He does love the game of baseball, so he hears them talking about sports, and he's hoping they're all talking about those damn Yankees. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, all three of you are standing at this one window, kind of separate from the rest of the group. As you're chatting, you see a hand from outside the window. And not within the cabin, not within the hall that you're in, from outside the window reaching for a latch, trying to get this window open. There's nothing eldritch about it by any means that you would know as a player. There's nothing weird or supernatural about it. It's a human hand trying to get this window open. Would you like to do anything?
God. I think there's somebody out there on the outside in the sky.
The sky? Can you fly?
Well, I don't know what's going on. I see a hand over there. You see that hand?
I ain't see nothing. Sam, it ain't my business. I'm gonna sit here, enjoy my drink. If that man has wings, he can get up on the window. He can get himself off that window too.
Man.
Jack?
Is there a way I could get a little bit closer to the window to see what I can make out of this hand? And if it's not a hand, if it's just the wind as we're up in the air. We are up in the air now, aren't we?
You are ascending to your maximum altitude. You look, you get to the window, you look down. Mr. Carlisle, if you could take it away from there, what does Jack see?
So what you see on the hand, you just see this like dark hand that is just coated in this like light layer of this like white substance. You're not sure if it's like powder or like flour. It's actually just ash from the lack of moisture on this hand that's there. The fingernails are yellow and cracked, and they actually sort of extend out, but then curl back into the fingers themselves. So there's almost like these little bumpers on the hand that are holding on, but it's just keratinized fingernail that digs into the flesh of this hand. This hand is attached to this, as I wrote down in the description, dirty, scruffy, and hairy man. He has this big, thick beard, these deep wrinkles and creases in his face, and these wide-eyed look as his jowls are just moving to and fro with the wind. Somebody pull me in, it says.
Is there a way I can open this door and help this individual?
There is a latch. There is a latch that pushes the window up, yes.
Jack O'Connor is going to swiftly and effectively open this door to let this individual in if I can.
You do just that. And we are introduced to this character then landing on the floor at the feet of all of you as you and then close the window behind you. And, well, we are introduced to Pop.
No, well, thank you, Sonny. Thank you for giving me that hand there. Let me close this door. It's a little breezy inside. As he goes and tries to close the latch, make sure it's tight. All right, we're to the hors d'oeuvres.
You're just going to go to the food? Well, you just came from outside?
At this point, you all hear a man's voice, a deep masculine voice, calling from down the hall where you know to be the dining area, calling all occupants of this ship to the to dinner service.
Oh, that's my cue. Bye.
Now hold on real quick. How did you get all the way up here?
I just jumped on. I didn't think it'd get off the damn ground.
You've been hanging out there ever since we went up in the air.
I guess. I thought it was just a fancy kind of train, but I guess not.
My God, I thought this was like, this is crazier than those radio plays I put on at the station. I mean, what are you doing out there, man? That's crazy.
A play? Oh, I used to be in plays. I used to be an actor.
You're crazy. Crazy enough for me to buy you a drink. Come on.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies, athwart men's, and he reaches out and touches your nose, boops it, doop, noses as they lie asleep.
Yeah, I don't appreciate you booping my nose like that, but I think I recognize you.
Huh?
You're on some of those big Hollywood pictures, aren't you?
The talkies?
No.
The non-talkies?
I never been in no movies. It's, it's kind of community theater. Things I do for the cats.
The cat?
The cats.
Oh, you don't mean like actual cats. You mean like, as in a nickname for other people cats.
No, tabby cats,
Oh, no, you meant actual cats.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he said he recognized me. You with the fedora. You recognize me? One question. What's your mama's name?
Well, that's a little personal.
Well, I was just trying to make the connection.
Well, her name's Louise.
No, I don't know her. And you real red. Why are you so red? Why are you laughing?
Where are you from, Pop?
Pop? Well, Pop, I'm from all over. I'm just a purebred American. I'm from, you ever heard of Opelika, Alabama? That's where I first started. I came into this world screaming and scratching. But now I just move all over wherever the wind takes me. And now, this ain't a train, but you know what? I'm going to venture on this here vessel because I'm on a mission.
You on a mission to Germany?
Germany? This shit ain't going to Orlando.
No, this shit ain't going. No, it's going over to Berlin.
Listen, I've wronged.
And not Berlin, Iowa. Berlin, Germany.
Listen, I've wronged my son, and I'm seeking reconciliation. He's in Orlando, and that's kind of where I was trying to go.
At this point, you have a feminine individual walk by in a very elegant dark red dress with a very fluffy, essentially scarf come down. You know, the I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? A very elegant attaché, is that the word I'm thinking? I'm not sure. Coming down. No, that's not it. It's minx fur, thank you. You know what I'm talking about. It's basically a scarf. She does walk by, eyes each of you making eye contact, looking you each up and down, gives a bit of a and proceeds to that dining hall, where you do hear the captain call once more.
Just turn heel and walk towards the dining hall. Look back for his new compatriots, but not necessarily waiting for him.
All right. Do we all proceed to the dining hall here?
Is it too late to burn down the blimp?
It is, unfortunately, as each of you know. Well, at this point in with air travel, they do not allow any, and they preface this upon boarding. They do not allow any volatile items to be carried on board, given the design of these aircraft. So each of you proceed to the dining hall. Again, these white linen tables, perfectly round, with the candles lit, the perfect view over the landscape and now the clouds as we have ascended. The captain stands on the far end. The captain has previously, and is currently once more, introduced himself as Captain Herbert Meyer. He is also a veteran of the Great War, as he was part of the German Air Service. A very esteemed captain who does begin to speak as food is brought to each of you. So, as we know it, with the captain standing there by the first officer, Friedrich Rau, R-A-U, I'm not sure if that's correct pronunciation, but they are standing there with the attendants going to and fro each table, pouring wine, serving appetizers as well as main courses. As each of you take your seat, all of your bodies are tense. Again, you're once again aware of how high up you are, which is probably the first time in your life ever at this point. But he welcomes each of you, looking at each person at these tables. You start to get a head count of about 20 individuals here on this ship. He welcomes each of you and, of course, invites you to join him in the smoking lounge later this evening after dinner. He then has two attendants pass out essentially a layout of the two decks that you're on. To give you more of an understanding, he speaks about the creation of this vessel, his pride with it, as well as, of course, making you more familiar with the layout here. So let me go ahead and present this here. So it is going to go up in this little box on stream here. So let me find that, of course. Oh no. That was the one thing I missed, but of course I can present it to you all here. Let me swap this over, of course. So you all are familiar with it, and as my players are familiarizing themselves, let me go ahead and add. You're going to see a little bit behind the scenes here. I apologize. This is so unprofessional. There we go.
Thank you for apologizing.
No, you got it. Thank you for acknowledging my apology. All right. So we have it here. I'm going to shrink it down, but of course, I invite you all to get a good look at this so we have a good idea, as we are, of course, in room 4, the left side of deck A, as we can see it here, which is, as we know, the dining hall to the left of the cabins themselves. So let's go ahead and shrink this down and tuck it away here for continuity and presentation's sake. Perfect. Each of you have been given this. You are, of course, enjoying this very fine meal, with Pop finding a seat at the same table as all of you, as you all came in more or less one group, and it just so happened that this one table was the one that presented the 4 necessary seats. What would you like to do?
Jack, you said you served in the Great War?
Jack, sorry.
That's correct. Yeah, I served in the Great War.
Where are you stationed?
I was stationed on the Western Front with most of the other American troops, and I was at the Battle of Verdun. That was a bloody mess. But yeah, it was something I don't like to, think back too much on, but, it really helped me grow up and see what life really was.
Why you head to Germany, my friend?
I got an old war buddy over there.
War buddy in Germany, huh?
Yeah.
Someone nice on the other side, or?
No, some guy who just retired in Germany.
Beautiful over there, I heard.
Yeah, I've actually haven't been back to Europe since 1917. So actually may have been 1918. I can't remember. I tried to put as much as I could out of my head from that time in my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, sir. I feel like I'm sure we're both glad there's an open bar here.
Yeah.
Tommy, why did you say you were going to Germany, my friend?
Well, my back in Chicago, I run a radio. The radio, right? The radio stations. Run KEUY out in Chicago. And I've been hearing they got some real cool new transmitters, really interesting pieces of technology over there in Germany. And me and some of the other radio stations in the tri-state area, we decided to pool our funds together. They're going to send me over there, and, I bring a little bit back, some interesting kind of radio equipment. But yeah, really it's just kind of a scouting mission, and who am I to turn down basically a free trip to Europe?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, Pop. All right.
I'm sorry again. Where'd you say was home for you? Alabama somewhere? Or?
Yeah. Well, originally, but I travel all over. I've been just about everywhere. Everywhere the boxcar takes me. Yeah.
Sir, any highlights? Any favorite places?
Highlights. Well, New York was fun. Also, some places out in Colorado. Where else? I tell you, one time I got on a boxcar and I went to a mythical land.
A mythical land?
Yeah. Now, I had done heard, my mama told me, she told me this place wasn't real. She told me it was just something in the fairy tale books. But I got on this boxcar, and the next thing I know, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. People telling me I'm crazy, but I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, New York's where I call home, so I'm glad you like my hometown.
Oh, no, not New York. No, New York is real. Everybody knows New York is real.
Well, of course New York's real, but, just through your travels, it's always nice to hear people like New York. Fun travels, my friend.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to hear more about this mythical land you speak of. Is this some sort of weird way of saying Hollywood, LA? I mean, what are you talking about?
Hollywood, no. This is something that only those in the books, I don't really read that much, but only those in the books talk about. I went to the mythical land of West Virginia.
Oh, do you mean the state of West Virginia, or do you mean the western part of the state of Virginia?
Well, we know Virginia. There is a West Virginia.
Huh?
I'm at this point, standing above Pop and Lou, who are sitting closest to each other. Do Pop is in character. We see the same woman in the same dark red gown come over, placing her hands, one hand on Pop's shoulder and one hand on Lou's shoulder. Looking up, she's only about 5'6", maybe 5'7", but looking up, she seems like the tallest person you've ever met, standing over top of you. She looks at each of you, once again with that slight smirk. She's young. Well, I don't think I recognize any of your faces. Where are you all from exactly, as it seems you all know each other?
Pops just puts his head down. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't make eye contact either.
Well, it's good to see you all on the same trip. I suppose we all have good reasons for going to Europe.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, I went into a Southern dialect. Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Well,
Southern.
I'm Jack O'Connor. Nice to meet you.
I reach out my hand. Tommy Gillespie.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, that was not related. Lou Hornsby, nice to meet you.
She shakes both of your hands and, of course, introduces herself as, yes, hello, I'm Ruth Davis. I'm a bit of a writer, you see.
A writer?
A journalist, I suppose.
Oh, interesting. Well, I've been trying to start up a new daily news program back on my radio stations in Chicago. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm from Chicago. And it'd be good, if you're ever looking for we're always looking for more people, we could use a good writer on the news team. And, if you got your qualifications,
Well,
bring me a resume.
tell me, Tommy, have you ever heard of a publication called the Lakehurst Tribune?
Lakehurst Tribune. I can't say I have. Can't say I have.
Well, I've just done a rather well-received piece on the mating cycles of ducks. I consider nature one of the strongest elements. But of course, I cover anything they put in front of me, whether it be politics or the social environment or nature itself. I'm, of course, ready to cover any story, as it is all a part of being human. I would love to provide a resume. But
Well, I hope to see it from you on this lengthy trip of ours.
of course. Well, as it seems I'm not too familiar with any of your faces as I do my research, I would recommend getting in the good graces of the captain. He is, of course, in the smoking lounge, as he had mentioned previously, if you'd like to reference your maps that he provided. Until next time, boys. And does then depart. What would we like to do?
I gotta look at the gentleman and go, what a looker. Huh? I mean, sheesh. If I wasn't a married man, I'm not.
Chicago 10, New York 5, I heard that say.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
about you,
sure.
Pops?
Yeah, she was all right looking, I would say. I'm just
Not-
trying
not-
not to.
Not as
Engaged.
pretty as the West Virginia girls, right?
Did you know that the girls in West Virginia walk on 2 legs?
Yeah.
Pops, I mean, with you sitting right here in front of me, I think I'm in a mythical land.
But now what the fuck that's supposed to mean?
It just means you're a treat to be with. Capiche?
I'm just saying, Pop don't like insults too much.
Oh,
All
no. You mistaken my words. I no insult at all.
Okay, all right. Well, just watch yourself, Sonny.
No,
I know you helped me and all, but all right, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, she was very nice looking. I saw her, and yeah, nice looking for sure. Yeah.
You got a woman in your life, Pop?
Not anymore. Geraldine was very sweet to me. Gave me my pride and joy, my son. But again, touchy subject. You know what? Why don't we eat? Why don't we just take up the man on his offer? Why don't we? Why don't we just go to Germany, right? I guess if that's where we're headed, I'll make my way back to Orlando from there. I'll just catch the train from Germany to Orlando.
All right. Where to next, friends? Because we're wrapping up dinner here, of course. The meal is at this point over.
we didn't get the order. We didn't get the order dinner.
Oh, well, at this point, we are, I suppose, coming to an end. But of course, we can, that is an important detail I do want to hit on. So as the server does come over, they're very well dressed. Of course, a nice white button-down shirt with a black bow tie, a menu in their hands where they would take notes. Of course, you all have menus in front of you. They have the black apron, and they are ready to take your order. Now, we are backtracking a little bit to see what each of us ordered for this meal that we've enjoyed. So, they do start with Lou here.
Nothing fancy for me. The pork chop and the mashed potatoes have been great. Another glass of that fine red Malbec you had.
Of course, the Merlot, yes. And I should preface the the pork chop is glazed with a fine honey and basil touch. And you, sir, Tommy? They're looking at you.
You know, I'll take the grilled chicken with the turnip greens. Sounds pretty good.
Definitely. Very fine choice. And you, sir? Turning to Jack.
I still need a moment to browse the menu. You can just circle back around to me. But I will take a old-fashioned to drink, if you don't mind.
Of course. And do you have a specific whiskey in mind?
Your priciest, but maybe not your priciest. Maybe the middle priciest. You know what I mean?
Middle price.
Not the lowest, not the highest, kind of in the mid-range.
Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you what my drink was. Whatever kind of beer you got, I'll just take a beer.
All right.
Do you have lobster? I'm not really seeing the seafood selection on this menu.
We do, of course. There is the shrimp cocktail, which is, of course, with the all very recently harvested seafood. The lobster is cooked to perfection. It can be served with a side of filet or, of course, the coleslaw.
All right. Now I see you got a couple of different types of steaks. Can you run me through what kind of steaks you got here?
Yes, of course. There is the filet mignon at 8 ounces, of course. Medium rare, I recommend, but it is, of course, up to the individual in question. There is the New York strip, which personally I find ungodly, excuse me. It is, the chefs try their best, I'll say. Now, of course, if you have quite the appetite, we do have porterhouses, a few, of course, as they are not the most common choice. They are approximately 22 ounces worth of meat. And to top it all off, there is the T-bone, which, how can you go wrong, right?
That's very true. Well, thank you. You just made me have a better choice. I think I'm going to choose the club sandwich.
Club sandwich. Would you like a porterhouse on the side?
Nah, you know what? Just scratch the club sandwich. I'll just take chips.
All right, chips with porterhouse, well done, perfect. And you, sir, looking to pop.
Yeah, I'll take that shrimp cocktail, please. Shrimp cocktail and a bottle of wine.
Very fine choice. Do you have a specific wine in mind or a location where it might hail from?
He looks over to Lou. Any suggestions?
Oh, apologies. We'll split that bottle of the the Merlot that you recommend.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Perfect selection.
Can I not get a bottle for myself?
Oh,
Moderation. Thank you, Lou.
two bottles. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Let's split between the four of us. Two bottles for the four of us.
Well, the Merlot complements the porterhouse perfectly, and I do recommend it alongside the shrimp cocktail. Very fine choices. And they close that book, and of course, then proceed to the kitchen. They bring it back.
A waiter.
You stop them just for a second. They are about maybe 10, 15 feet away.
Can I get some ketchup for my chips, please? And don't bring me a glass for the wine. I don't drink red.
More for me.
Of course, sir. And they do depart around the corner. They do bring out each dish at the same time, serving the plates in front of you. Jack, you have in front of you a poorly cooked piece of meat. This looks like the New York strip. It's almost like a hockey puck. They have brought out a tomato that has been thrown into a pan, slightly cooked and mushed down to try to get some sort of sauce or some sort of consistency. And to the side of it are pieces of potato that were maybe a little bit older. They got the bottom of the sack cooked a little bit, thrown off to the side of that for your chips. And then, of course, the shrimp cocktail blend in front of Pop. And the 2 bottles of Merlot brought in trays with ice, chilled.
Pop dives in. He starts to eat the shrimp cocktail. I'm drinking his wine.
Jack, you said you're from New York, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, from New York.
Where are you from, my friend?
Well, I don't like to, give out my location too much, but let's just say I'm from Brooklyn.
Sounds great, my friend. That's enough. I'm from Manhattan myself.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I was born and raised in New York.
It's very, very, very cool, my friend. It's nice to see another New Yorker friendly face on this vessel. Hope you enjoy your dinner. Looks delicious.
Yeah, I don't know why they brought me the steak. All I ordered was chips, but hey, you know what I say,
What do you say?
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, okay. So listen, Lou, so both of you guys are from New York. We got Pop over here from what was that accent I just did? We got Pop over here from Alabama, and of course, like I said, I'm from Chicago.
Wait, I thought Pops was from West Virginia.
No, he visited West Virginia on a mystical freight train.
That's right, but he's actually from Colorado.
I don't know, maybe.
I've been to Colorado.
He's been to Colorado.
Been to Colorado. He scratches his beard.
Actually, Pop, I just thought of something. Pop, that's what I called my Pop. My father, I call him Pop. Now, is your name actually Pop, or is it a nickname?
No, I guess it's acquired. Yeah, it's just a nickname.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it's a nickname. Yeah, Pop. I wasn't born a Pop. I became a Pop.
What were you born as? What were you born as?
My real name is Cleophas.
Say that again.
Cleophas Wheelis.
Well, I've never heard that kind of name before. I never heard those kind of names in Chicago.
Yep, might be an Alabama thing.
I wouldn't know. I've never been there.
Oh, yeah, you should go. Listen, I'll tell you what. Next time the train runs through wherever you're from, Chicago, you get on the train.
Yeah.
Don't pay no fare. You don't gotta pay. That's just a suggestion. You get on, you ride all the way to Opelika, Alabama. There's a train depot. It rides right in the middle of the town, and you can get off and you can see all of Alabama. Yeah, there's a school not too far from that town there. Big school. And yeah, that's about it.
If I'm ever coming down that way, I'll be sure to stop in Opelika.
Behind Lou and Pop, there is a masculine person walking by with a suit, a matching tie, of course, a off-white shirt. As they're approaching, give me a listen roll, Pop.
That is a success, 26 versus 50. I'm going to spend 1 point of luck to make it a hard success.
Ooh, okay. All right. So you spend that 1 point of luck to make that a 25 versus 50, of course, that hard success, and you start to pick up what typically would be picked up as mumbling from this individual walking more or less past you. They're not walking at you by any means. You're uncertain where they're coming from, but as that mumbling, you start hearing, if it's in Carlisle, it's got to be somewhere. It can't get to Germany. And then,
they're walking past me.
They're walking kind of towards the table. So if there's one direction towards the back, towards the top on the map. They're walking down, coming from probably behind the bar or somewhere in this locale here. You're not quite sure where they could have come from, but they are starting to pass. They realize that even though a lot of these individuals in this dining area have started fading out, he realizes you're all sitting at this table. And as he starts to get closer, oh, hi there. Hello. Hope you gentlemen are having a fine night.
As he's talking to everybody, I'm going to stick my hands in his pockets and take whatever's in there.
Ooh. Okay.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to distract the guy by asking, "Hey, how you doing? Where you from?"
Okay.
And I'm going to fall off my chair on purpose.
I'm looking to use sleight of hand.
So
and with all of these things, that sounds like a bonus die. I don't know.
So I think Jack could pick up. Given what Jack was saying, he might catch on quick there to see what you're planning on doing. But Jack, go ahead and give me a. Man, it has been some time since I've seen a Call of Cthulhu sheet. Isn't that crazy? No.
Operate heavy machinery.
It's close, but no cigar. We're looking for something like performance. We'll go with
charm.
I like charm. Yeah, we're gonna go with charm. That's actually that's spot on for what I was looking for. Thank you. And of course, the sleight of hand.
If your character has a dump truck
yes.
ass, you always use operate heavy machinery whenever you move.
I got a 96 versus 35. In some games, that would be a success, but in Call of Cthulhu, it's a failure.
Failure.
Yes, sir. Let's see that sleight of hand. Let's see that sleight of hand.
Failure. I'm gonna put the Hudson little emote in the chat. The fail. Okay. Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push the roll.
All right. If you want to push it, go for it. Let's see it pop.
Okay. Well. So he gets in there. He gets
the distraction, if that's what we're going for, has failed with a 96 versus 35, and you have failed that sleight of hand 48 versus 40.
So the hand's in the pocket now. He can either take it out or he can just commit and maybe switch to the other pocket.
It does depend on how this push goes, if you intend to push it. You can see this. It doesn't take a psychology roll to see that this person. I mean, there's drops of sweat coming down. They're not easy going, so to speak. They're rather paranoia would be a word that you'd use here, with that kind of shakiness that's prevalent. It'd be very hard to sneak something out of a pocket.
Okay. Would it have to be just a success, or would it have to be it wouldn't have to be a hard success or anything, right?
Take a standard success.
All right. He's going to push it.
Let's see it.
Failure.
Ooh.
Hands in his pocket.
That was a good attempt. Jack says something. It doesn't catch this man's attention. Your hand is already gravitating as Jack is attempting to help. Your hand gets in the pocket, and he reels back. He thrusts your hand out. You felt something. It was maybe a piece of paper, thin, but that's about as much as you can make out. It was nothing hefty. There was no wallet, nothing like that. But there was certainly some sort of paper in there, maybe money, something like that. He reels back, shields that jacket pocket, and that was much worse than a handshake, sir.
Hey, Pops. Hey, don't do that. I'm so sorry. My father here, he gets a little carried away from time to time. He's, getting at that age.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I was reaching in my own pocket. Sometimes I get mixed up. So I was going from my pocket, but I accidentally went into your pocket. So it was a big misunderstanding. Just wrong direction. I want to fast talk.
Let's see it. Oh,
failure. 4 versus 40.
Okay, no worries.
Push the roll.
I'll let a back up with a hard persuade if Jack wants to chime in here.
A hard persuade?
Hard persuade.
Oh my gosh. I can tell you right now that
Let's see it. Let's see it.
A hard persuade. It's gonna be so funny if this happens.
Okay, all right.
So close. 42 versus 10.
This dude is seeing through this. He doesn't care what your details are, but he's already, you can see in his eyes, he's marked each of you. He something's going on here, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't know if your group, like if you're trying to rob this blimp of sorts, but you're not like the other guests that are all easygoing. He doesn't know what just happened, but he reels back. Good day, gentlemen. And he scurries off very quickly, and his head is down, his hair is shaggy, and disappears around the corner. And you would know this as looking at your maps towards the direction of not only the cabins, but also the reading room and the lounge. And if you were to descend the stairs next to the cabins, down into the smoking lounge, which you were invited to.
Sorry about that. I thought, he might have been hiding something. His demeanor was off. This is how I messed up with my son. I apologize.
What do you think he might have in his pocket? That was so interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any excuses for it. It's just been rough out there, and there was something in his face, something in his eye. I don't know. It was just an instinct. I didn't think. I just did. And I'm sorry.
Well, as long as you're not sticking your hands in my pocket, Pop, I really don't care too much, to be honest with you. Just, keep your hands away from my general middle sphere. You know what I'm saying? The middle section. We'll keep that hands free.
All right, yeah,
All right.
Stay away. Yeah, well, stay away.
And no, you don't have to stay away. I'm just saying, just no hands.
No hands there.
In the middle third.
I heard what you said. No hands in the middle third.
No, you
You're
don't have
kind
to
of
stay
cute,
away.
but no.
That's not okay. I didn't.
No.
Wasn't okay. Well,
Where would we like to go next, group? What's the plan? To recollect, you have been invited to the smoking lounge. This individual has disappeared around that corner to the south on our map. What is your intention? Of course, the smoking lounge is below.
We haven't ordered dessert yet.
They're not serving dessert. You are the only table that has occupants in this dining hall. You have the same waiter looking around the corner, just staring at you.
I'm still kind of hungry. Anyone else go for seconds or?
Hey, can I get some more chips over here, please?
Yeah, can I get the yes and special?
And they disappear around the corner.
I'll take a glass of water.
They're gone.
I'd like to. I'm gonna tell my table, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm gonna try and follow the man around the corner, but like real sneaky like real sneaky like.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Success.
You already had that ready. Ooh, okay. You do just that. You get up from your table, head the same direction this individual went. You see it goes to the stairs to where the smoking lounge would be. Do you intend to follow up the stairs?
You said to the smoking lounge or towards the smoking lounge?
Correct. You are on deck A with the dining hall. The stairs will go to deck B, which does include the smoking lounge.
I'll give it a good. I'll kind of sit there by myself for about 2 minutes and then head back to my table.
Okay.
And,
All right.
really trying to make it seem like I actually went to the bathroom. Trying to play the game.
All right. So you're
So
all
I come back to my table.
back at this table.
So, fellas, now that we've all finished our dinner, how about we take that cute waitress up on her offer about the cabins in the smoking lounge, correct? Y'all heard that too?
Yeah, I could definitely do with a cigarette.
Yeah.
Pop, you smoke?
I could go for a stogie. you know.
Yeah.
You know what
Pops-
I'm saying, pops.
Pops.
I go ahead. I already go ahead and put a cigarette in my mouth. Like, yeah, I might have a stogie after I finish the cigarette.
Yeah.
Anybody want one? I got like 4 packs.
Yeah. If you're
Yeah,
offering,
light them up, boys.
All right. Yeah.
Pop, what kind of cigarettes do you like, my friend?
Any kind.
What do you like to
Usually,
smoke?
Lucy's.
I haven't heard that brand, but maybe we'll have it down at the smoking hall. How about we make her out there and meet our fearless captain?
You know, I just read a study that said that cigarettes can actually make your life last 20 years to longer than without smoking. I tell you, the science of these things is incredible.
Makes me want to smoke less, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's head out.
And as we're walking to the smoking room, I look at Pops and I say, Pops, they're talking about this long life with smoking cigarettes. You know, I heard one time that a man walked across a lake because he smoked so many cigarettes. I know, baffling. It's baffling.
Pop,
it takes the words out of your mouth.
Give me a history roll if you could.
History?
Sure, yeah.
That's not gonna pass. 23 versus 5, failure.
Okay, you vaguely remember that being you. You remember one night where you had a couple cigarettes and you think, I mean, there was alcohol involved, but you think you did walk across water.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
This story just rings a bell. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. That's what Pop says.
Perfect. All right. We are proceeding towards this smoking lounge. So you, of course, descend these stairs here, heading that way. This lounge is very relaxed. Of course, leather seating, nice brown tables that are, trimmed very well, almost specifically crafted. You can see some etching in the sides of them. Of course, lighters are chained to the table here, so they can't be removed, but they are, of course, available to you for cigarettes or stogies or cigars, whatever it might be. The windows are on the side, of course, and you do see the captain towards the back as you approach. But if I could, Lou, could you give me a spot hidden?
Jeez. Failure 99 to 25.
Understood. All right. Lou, you are, of course, as you have initiated this kind of departure to the smoking lounge, you are out front. Maybe you're looking back towards one of the members of this group, chatting with them, and you're not paying attention. Out of the door of the smoking room flies another man lunging at you, mouth first, arms out to try and get you. Give me a dodge roll.
Right. Dodge, you said?
Correct.
That's 95 to 30 failure.
This individual,
Oh,
a rather
nice.
young-looking man, you'd place about mid-20s, is lunging at you. Doesn't hit, doesn't smack, doesn't lead with the arms, but then bites, sinking his teeth into your forearm there for 1d3 damage. We're going to go ahead and roll that now. I don't have a 1d3. So I'm going to do it in roll 20. We're just going to half a 1d6. I don't know what I'm doing. For 3 damage. As it
Great.
sinks its teeth into your forearm, really getting back there into, almost right above the bone. Really pulling a hefty chunk of flesh out. Of course, 2 attendants immediately, who are within proximity, lunge forward to then grab and yank this person back. And they're holding him down to the ground, each one on one shoulder. When you start to look closer, you see this this kind of tussling ensue. And then, of course, the attendant to the right then takes a bite as well, very similar to the one you took up on the top of the arm there. They start to drag him away. And rushing over from the back of the smoking lounge is the first mate and the captain rushing forward, asking, "Are you all right, son?" Can we get this man a bandage, please?
Yes.
Attendant.
This happen often in those ships?
No, I'm sorry. This is the first flight of my ship. This is horrendously embarrassing. I do apologize. A bandage, please. And an attendant runs around the corner, and of course.
No. I can take care of it myself. I just, I'm a little confused, but I appreciate your hospitality, Captain. What's your name again?
Captain Hubbard Meyer.
Where are you from, Captain Meyer?
Germany. I can't do the accent, so sorry.
Germany.
Yes.
Okay. Well, no apologies necessary. These things happen when you have a big team under you, but I appreciate your concern. Well, sir, it's been good to meet you. I think it's time for me to retire to my room.
Well, I can assure you, sir, this individual unfortunately snuck onto my ship before takeoff. We're not certain how he got on board, but we are going to keep him locked up for the remainder of this voyage. So you have my promise you will not see this individual again.
Have people sneak onto the ship often, Captain?
No. Our security, we thought,
just
was...
the one you know.
Well, I take pride in any sort of security or documentation that we have on board. I don't believe anyone else has found an accidental spot on this ship. Do you know of anyone?
No. How could you sneak onto a flying vessel, sir?
Right.
I don't know any metal things to you, sir.
That sounds almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
That means somehow somebody would have to get all the way up here in the air and then have somebody open the door for them and let them in. It's quite impossible.
You gotta tell me some Jamook is just sleeping outside on the thing before it takes off. That'd be crazy. That's.
Anyways,
I mean, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just wouldn't happen.
Silly children's stories aside, Captain. I think it is
Come on,
time
man.
for me to make my leave down to my cabin. Again, appreciate your hospitality. It's been great meeting you. I hope to see you around the vessel, Captain.
Right.
I take my leave.
Yes. We're going to, of course, everyone. Of course, a few people have gathered hearing the commotion. We're going to dismiss you all to your bunks this evening. It is, of course, late. Again, we do apologize for the event you just saw unfold, and we promise no more violent acts, certainly, and no more acts of conflict, as we do want a peaceful and restful journey on our trip to Germany. If you will, I will excuse myself. Thank you. And he does depart around the corner as you see crowd members disperse, heading to their bunks. Individuals from the smoking lounge leave to head to bed as well. So, if there's no objection, we all take our leave as well. Lou, you might find a restroom to potentially wash up maybe a little bit, clean the wound, if you so choose. You all head to your bunks. Now, these are small, as you can see on the map. It is just big enough for that bed, as well as maybe a locker for storage, a foot locker. And you all then proceed to rest. As you're resting, you do feel your mind drift away. It's been a very long day, and you start to dream, which is not uncommon. Each of you find yourselves standing in a field. Suddenly, out of darkness flashes a dark field. It's nightfall. You can see the moon shining from above you. You're somewhere maybe up north around Canada. The snow piles high. The trees are covered in it. It is cold. The wind is not blowing, but you can feel that chill to the bone. You know if you don't find shelter soon, you'd start to freeze, and you feel that fear. As this is, of course, just how dreams work, with the deepest emotion coming out first and foremost to guide your actions. If I could get a intelligence roll from everyone.
Failure 100
Oh.
versus 50.
Pop, no.
I
man.
failure 93 versus 70.
Success. 51 to 80.
A hard success, 19 versus 50.
Tommy and Pop, this is a dream of dreams. You've felt this before. You'd think you've been in this exact dream before as well. However, Jack, Lou, if you could give me a 1d3 roll as well. You can roll d6 just like I did in half it. And, of course, Pop and Tommy just take 1 sanity loss.
2.5. Round up or round down?
In your favor, let's do 2 points of sanity loss.
Very generous.
Wait, just 1 sanity from the intelligence roll?
Correct. So if you failed, it's going to be 1 loss. Sorry, hang on.
So I got 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5. So was that 1 or 2?
In your favor, we'll do 1.
Do I just click edit on my sheet and then
Exactly.
just take
Yeah.
one off? Cool.
Yeah, it's manual.
Crap. I only have 79 sanity left.
I don't know what you're going to do, man. Good luck.
74, baby.
For those who succeeded. Oh, we're good now. For those who succeeded, which would be, of course, Lou and Jack, you're aware there's something deeper here than just a simple dream. This just feels, I mean, it's almost like a lucid dream, you know, like it's just too real. If all of you could provide a roll, you're going to be looking for shelter, obviously, which is the first instinct that you have, shelter or fire, something like that. I will take a survival, track, navigate, natural world, or a hard spot hidden. So once more, survival, track, navigate, natural world, or a hard spot hidden roll.
Is that everybody?
Yes, if you'd prefer to look for shelter and act on that instinct.
So you said spot hidden, navigate, or natural world?
So survival, track, navigate, and natural world. And if it's spot hidden, it had to be a hard success.
Okay.
And Jack, I'm not sure, but you just failed a 100. So we're just gonna ignore that. Oh, snap, Pop.
Extreme success on navigate, 5 versus 50.
I failed spot hidden, 60 versus 35.
Fail on natural world.
Success on spot hidden.
Okay, that is a standard success. We were looking for a hard.
And I
alright.
push it.
You definitely can.
How does pushing work again? It's like it lets you re-roll it, right?
You re-roll, and if you do fail, the outcome is going to be much worse than a standard failure.
Okay, never mind. I won't push it.
Okay. So you made me explain it. Now he feels nervous. No, all right. So
I always let Matt explain it, and then I usually
yeah. All right. So with that extreme success, you do, of course, you're not sure. I mean, it doesn't feel connected. It's just within a dream here. But Pop, you do on your way with that extreme. You do find Tommy and Lou. You see a mountain range, but you can also make out just with your knowledge that there would be some sort of cave or maybe an outcrop, something of the sort to bunker down in. And you do find Tommy and Lou. Do you call out to them?
Yes. Oh, hey guys.
Perfect. So, of course, assuming you both run over, you all join together, finding yourself a small cave. Jack, you are finding yourself wandering around in the dark here. So as you huddle around this fire that you've started, which you've done so in this cave, of course, as you do, you see these flames bounce and create that silhouette of you up on the wall of the cave. You can feel that cold still, even though you're next to this fire. And you hear a scream. It sounds like a masculine voice. It even kind of resembles maybe someone you've met up till now. Perhaps the very man sitting at your table that is not with the three of you here. Could you give me a Constitution roll, Jack? Okay. This cold is eating away at you, and you do take 1 point of damage from this. So you feel it sink into your flesh.
Now this is a dream, right?
It's certainly what it feels like.
But I'm taking 1 point of health loss because of a dream.
If you might recall, that feeling that you had feels deeper than a dream. Again, almost like a lucid dream. You're very much more aware with that intelligence success than you might usually be in the night. Suddenly, all of you awaken, still feeling that cold, even though you're wrapped in this blanket. Almost like a cold sweat going down your brow. Jack, you have awoken not in your bed, but in the cargo hold of this ship. Sacks around you, boxes, produce, things they've used for the trip, as you suddenly arise out of your slumber. And that is where we're going to take a second to take a break. Real quick here at I believe it's the hour 15 mark, hour 22 mark. So we are going to go ahead and break real quick. Is that good with everyone? How are we feeling?
Sounds good to
Yeah,
me.
me.
Oh yeah.
Good deal. Refill your drinks, grab another snack, whatever it is you might be partaking in, and we will be back very shortly, maybe in 5 to 7 minutes. Till then. And we are back. All right, thank you for your patience with us. I hope you were able to refill your drinks, grab some snacks. If you might recall, about maybe 10 or so minutes ago, we did find Jack O'Connor waking up in the cargo hold of this airship with the 3 other investigators in their bunks, in their cabins on this airship. The 3 of you hear a loud banging on your door. It starts with Lou, of course.
I very slowly get up and yell through the door, "Hello?"
This is Captain Maya. I need to speak with you for a second.
I just got out of bed, yes?
Open the door.
Okay, I'd like to go put on my robe.
Okay.
And then Lou is sleep in the in a suit type of guy, if you get
Yeah.
I'll throw on my robe and then open the door, cracks, my head's poking out. Captain Maya?
He goes to each of you and he says the same thing as he's saying to Lou. Get dressed quickly. I need to meet with each and every one of you. And he does depart, going down the hall, awaiting your joining of his company there. And that is to Jack and Tommy. Jack, you're in the cargo hold. Pop, when you hear that knock, what does Pop up to?
Pop wakes up. This is the first night he's gotten like some good sleep, like on like an actual sort of like comfortable bed in a while. So he's just been taking advantage of it. He almost didn't wake up, but he comes to the door. What do you want?
Did Pop have a room?
Does now.
Hell
He got one, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right. Hello. I'm not certain we. Nonetheless, you were with the group last evening. I need your company quickly, please. Ian. I'm sorry. If you may turn your attention to Twitch chat. So.
Squatter's right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, yes, he then to Pop.
He's in Jack's room. Was what was supposed to be Jack's room.
If you could, please meet with me after you've gotten dressed. Thank you. And he does depart to Tommy's room.
Yeah,
Not-
he just sort of dusts his shoulders off and then
Yeah.
walks out the door. He's ready to go.
Okay. Tommy, you hear that? Those 3 knocks.
What do you want? See
We
you
need your
late at
attention
night or
quickly.
early in the morning. What?
This is-
I, you got coffee?
We can discuss that later. We need your presence.
Well, all right, fine. Go Cubs. And he shuts the door and puts his clothes on. Then he comes back out and
Huh.
goes and joins them.
Yes, 3 of you, right this way. He does take you all to the stairs, going to the cargo hold. It is on the same deck, of course, as the smoking lounge. It's the same staircase you remember taking. You then, the 4 or 5 of you, as the first mate is with him, proceed to the cargo hold. And it's there that you do see your new friend, Jack, sitting in a chair now, being interrogated by the first mate. And to remind you of who that is, of course, the captain, I should say, also is about 6'1", an older gentleman. You'd put him at around 50. Well dressed, of course, in the captain's garb. And his first mate. Let me get the exact description here. I apologize. Where is this man? Here we are. Yeah, Frederick Rao, which I am more than likely pronouncing incorrectly. And they are standing over Jack. So, what you are hearing now is, of course, a repeat of the questions, Jack. What are you doing in the cargo hold and not in your bunk?
I'm gonna be honest. Again, I have no idea. Listen, I woke up here. All right.
We saw you with this group late last evening. I told you all. I dismissed each and every one of you to your rooms.
And that you did. And we went to our cabins. I went to sleep, and the next thing I know is I woke up here.
The 3 of you, are you in on this?
Well,
What's
actually,
going on?
He actually mentioned when we were talking, while we having drinks over dinner, he mentioned that he sleepwalks sometime, and I guess that's what happened. I mean, everybody, I don't know, my grandma, she used to sleepwalk, and I tell you, one time she almost fell into the middle of the Cubs stadium. Go Cubs.
He's right. Not about the Cubs part, but he's right. They ain't no Yankees.
Sleepwalking.
We'll see you in the World Series.
Sleepwalking.
Listen, Captain. You are the captain, right?
That hasn't changed.
I do suffer from PTSD. I served in the Great War.
Well, that makes the 2 of us. But I would like to know how great your PTSD is, if you might follow me. And he does, without waiting on you, turns and walks past one of these racks, these sections of storage.
I just kind of give Jack a look of like, I tried my best.
As all of you reluctantly, possibly, follow him, you look around and you see an opening in this cargo hold, hidden away kind of towards the corner. He points to a section where the ground is spotted and a deep red. You quickly make this out to be blood. Tell me, how deep is this PTSD, so much that you might harm or kill someone? Because, if I might recall, Frederick, this is where we took David. Excuse me. Who was the boy? And the first mate speaks up. Right, that was, Clarence Johnson. We found, of course he had his ID on him. Bit of a rambunctious, kid, I suppose, if we were to call him that. We do apologize again, Lou. But this is where we took him last night, and he is, unfortunately, nowhere to be found. And Captain turns to all of you.
Wait. you want to know? I'm sorry, I'm very confused. Are you saying that I did this? I mean, you're just talking about how y'all brought this kid down here.
We did have attendants going to and from to make sure Clarence didn't get himself in any more trouble. Maybe you're right. We tried to vet, of course, anyone who did board my vessel, but I will say it got a little hasty towards the end. Nonetheless, you have a point. Say you didn't kill Clarence or harm him in any way. They are, of course, still looking. We can't frighten the rest of our passengers. I would prefer to keep this in-house, but given your presence here, Jack, I need the four of you to help us to figure out what exactly has happened to Clarence and what this means, pointing to the spot on the ground. Now,
I mean, how do you know this is Clarence's? I mean, do you scrub the deck down here? I mean, this could have been left over from a crew member outside when you're on the airstrip. They may have cut themselves while loading some bags on here.
I admire your hopefulness, Jack. I have other matters to attend to, but I'm going to leave you with Bruce. Bruce and an individual steps forward, Bruno. I'm going to leave you with Bruno. Hi, I'm Bruno Schmidt. Yes, Bruno was stationed, I suppose, in the cargo hold late last evening. He was bringing Clarence food to make sure he's comfortable, and of course to keep him, for lack of better words, tame. If you have any questions, of course, inquire with Bruno, and he does then depart.
Captain.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Yesterday evening, not to bring up the a random accident that happens sometimes. The young boy attack. Was that the Clarence that you were mentioning, correct?
That was the same individual.
The handful of staff members that came to very quickly assist me. Your crew is exceptional, by the way. Do you know who those staff members were? I wanted to thank them myself, by the way.
Of course.
It wasn't as Bruno, was it?
No, Bruno was not around. It was, and he looks to Frederick. And Frederick says, Carl and Max. And of course, the captain turns around. Right. Carl Mueller, as well as Max, I'm going to say Lang. Yes, Carl Mueller and Max Lang, they were there to help. Unfortunately, Max did suffer a bit of an injury, very similar to yourself. But of course, he is being treated well. He is currently resting.
Thank you so much. Can I visit Max in his infirmary bed, or should I wait for him to get up?
We do ask, let him rest. He is feeling a bit ill. Company wouldn't do him any good. If you could, stay with your men here. Please, figure out what is going on, gentlemen.
Sure. One last question. I'm here as a vacation of sorts. I try not to get involved in too many investigations, I guess you could say, like this. Why us? Why not have your crew handle this? Obviously they've been well trained and seem very competent.
The four of you were part of what happened last evening. Your friend Jack woke up in our cargo hold with a missing, lack of a better word, prisoner. Given your involvement thus far, I see it's best to involve you instead of just hope that you might either keep your mouth shut or disturb everyone else aboard this vessel.
Sir, I'm just a businessman from New York. I'm not sure much if I can help in the investigation, but
You seem very capable.
From everything that you've done for me and my friends here, especially after the attack last night, I'm more than willing to give whatever I can help you with, but I'm cautious that I'm nowhere near a police officer or detective or anything of this sorts. But yeah, let us know what we can do to help. So we need to find this boy, Clarence.
Speak with Bruno. And he turns and does depart, and leaves you here.
Did Frederick go with him?
Yes.
Any of y'all have a background in a police officer?
No, but I did one time have a radio play on one of my stations. And in that, the detective asked somebody if they knew if the victim had any enemies. So, Brunito over here, right? That's your name, Brunito?
I'm sorry? Yes?
Okay. Do you know if anybody hated this Clarence kid, or is it, can you think of anybody who wanted to make sure he was hurt, or is it just he's gone?
I mean, everyone was upset with him after the incident. Not that I know of. I can say, when I did arrive earlier this morning, of course, to discover the lack of this Clarence, the door was locked, which is almost impossible.
Well, can you give me a cigarette? I left mine in my room.
I unfortunately don't smoke. I apologize. I don't have any on me.
You don't smoke.
It's good for you, kid. What do you do?
Yeah. You live a lot longer.
Yeah, you gotta smoke a little bit. Yeah, just
Oh, my father said it is actually the opposite.
Was your father a doctor or something?
Yes.
Oh. Well, okay, how about this? Could you give me a cup of coffee? Because it's like 4 a.m. or whatever.
Give me a luck roll.
Where are you from, kid?
Give me luck roll.
Yeah.
Hard success. Oh, I did hard success. 23 for against a 55.
Perfect. All right. So, yeah, with that hard success, with that asking for the coffee, Bruno looks past all of you to one of the attendants that are coming and going and asks for that coffee. And they run off real quick, and it takes about maybe 60 seconds, 90 seconds to then have that coffee full and in your hand. In the meantime, Jack is asking where he is from. Right. I'm actually one of the only American passengers here. I was born in Jersey, and I moved around quite a bit, and I found myself as part of this vessel. I was too young to be part of the war, you see.
All right, but I'm sorry, I'm very curious about your name. You said Bruno?
Yes.
Oh, Bruno. I was saying something else, I think.
You were saying burrito.
Oh yeah, that's like that Canadian dish, right?
Right.
Have up there. And
with the gravy on the French fries.
Yeah, that thing. The salsa verde, as they call it in Canada.
Gotta love the Canadians. Now back to your name, Bruno. I'm sorry, but you said you were from Jersey.
Yes.
You see, I'm from New York. And
I'm from Chicago.
I have a couple of friends from Jersey, and I gotta be honest, I haven't met a lot of Brunos there.
Well, I hope you don't take offense to this, but my parents are European. But I have to reiterate, this has nothing to do with what is going on this evening. I am a good individual. I am a proud member of this crew. I intend to do my job well, and quite frankly, we had no idea something like this would happen. I hope you can help us out.
What do you think's going on?
Um,
Also, I then pull out my own pack of cigarettes. I was saying, I'm just trying to get a freebie.
The attack last evening, and to you, Lou, was it? This individual, Clarence, wasn't intended to be on board. We thought we did a proper job, of course, taking passports, making sure we knew who was on board. How we ended up here, we have no idea. And for him to not only sneak on board, but then to attack one of our occupants, one of our guests, we think he might be mentally ill or crazy. I know my father has talked about problems of the mind that it happens to a lot of, as you may know, people who have endured war.
No, the man who helped me for my attack, Max, was it?
Yes.
I know, Bruno, that the captain said I should leave him alone, but I feel like there might be some information with him, considering he also was attacked and was somewhat responsible for this kid. Do you know where he's being treated?
I believe he's in. Well, he'd be in the crew cabins where we rest, but I do advise he's been in bed since he was bitten. He's not been feeling very well, so we, of course, want him to have rest, but I can say, even though I apparently missed a couple of events from last evening, I can say with certainty Max was not involved.
Has there been any other bitings? I was bit. This Max suffered similar injuries.
The only two injuries or illnesses we might be aware of are with you and with Max.
Well, Bruno, I really appreciate you being here to help us. I think what we all should do is to go back to our rooms and catch up on some sleep. How about we talk in the morning over some breakfast?
I just don't understand. The door was locked when I got here, and there's only 2 keys to this place. There's no way anyone would have had access. I was doing what I was told.
Why don't you show us that door?
Right. It's the same one you entered from. It was open, of course, but I'll point it out. And he does take you over to the same door you did enter from.
We're not detectives. Is this really our job?
Yeah, we're not private investigators.
We're willing to help out, but investigating doors and trying to figure out keys.
I will say
like
that
we should, run it up
It's
to people
too
who-
much, you know. We're all on vacation, if it
The-
were.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, Bruno, listen.
We paid
Yeah.
good money to be here.
Right. And, you know, I think perhaps, Bruno, you know, maybe we should just chill a little bit, go upstairs, have a drink at the bar. All right. And we can talk there.
the captain, I'm sorry to say this, but the captain has threatened to, of course, put each of you in a bit of a containment until we arrive at our destination. He doesn't want this information accessing the rest of the occupants on board.
Hey, I promise. You have my word that I'm not going to say a thing. Capiche? Come on, you know what I'm saying.
Someone needs to stay here to investigate. I can't take all of you out of here. I'll get in trouble. And I can't be part of that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and see that door then, Bruno. Show us. And do you know who? So there are 2 keys. Do you know who had the keys?
The only 2 keys are, we have one, and one is
No. When you say we, who's the we? Who's the we?
the attendants, us, the staff. We have one for coming and going through cargo. Of course, we lock it up when it's not being used. There's too many people through dinner service to have anyone slip through. of course, at night when everyone's resting, there's no reason to be in here, so it's locked. If it's not our key, which of course I had, the only other key is in the administration office. It's with, of course, the officers of the ship. It's not even it's not within reach of guests or even the attendants, quite frankly.
So there's two keys, and neither could have been used to open these doors.
It
What are you saying?
wasn't mine.
But the door was open. So I mean, what are you saying? I was trying to make sense of all this.
Well, that's makes the both of us.
That's a fair point. What do you think, Pop?
Oh yeah, but as far as like, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit. As far as keys go and everything, I just want to let you know we might not have a problem with that.
What?
Keys. We don't need keys.
Are you saying you?
I have some particular set of skills.
I'm sorry, sir. Are you saying? I don't believe we've met either. Are you saying you were in the storeroom last evening because you don't need keys?
I wasn't in the storeroom, but did I say that out loud?
You're saying somebody could get in without a key, is what you're saying.
Someone can listen. I can get in out without a key. Someone else could get in without a key.
This shouldn't be possible.
Lock picking is a thing. Maybe that's an option.
There's no way. There's no way.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
to pick a lock. I don't know what that entails, but there's no way it happened so quickly that I missed it.
Okay.
At least let me show you where he was.
Okay, please.
He does take each of you to the same spot where you did see a mark on the ground. Of course, then pointing each of you to this same area. It's again kind of back in the corner of this cargo room here. Would you like to do anything in terms of looking around? Well, investigating, for lack of better words.
It's just us four and then the attendant, correct, Bruno? Is there anyone else in the room where within eye shot?
There's maybe an attendant going to and from every now and then, but yeah.
What's around where the blood is?
Yeah, so as you're looking a little bit closer, you can see maybe kind of under one of the shelves, you see an empty flask. It's just kind of skidded across, the top is empty. You can see there was something maybe, you can see lines in the ground where something was drug, maybe a large box or something like that. But if you'd like to provide a spot hidden, I'm happy to provide more information.
Okay. Success, 40 against 70.
Nice. As you're looking, you see these two things, but Tommy getting a little bit closer. You start to see a very faint signature. I mean, it's very easily, you can understand why you're the first one to see it with how faint they are, quite frankly. As you start to look closer, you start to make out strange images, and I'll show this to you. What you're seeing on the ground here, and of course the mark of what you presume to be blood. And of course I'll show this to everyone watching. There we are. Okay. And we'll be on your Roll20 page. So you start to make out these symbols. So,
Interesting.
do you point this out, Tommy?
Yeah, I said, guys, it's like somebody was doing some amateur artwork around this. Anybody got like a notepad or something? We can maybe draw this out ourselves, you know, just Do we have a record of it? I mean, it looks like it got a sun, a man,
But
two triangles, an arrow, and a bird.
While everyone's attention is drawn towards the symbols, I'd like to sneak around the rest of the room, or particularly like in the closer to the door and closer to like the closer to the walls, kind of just like see if anything else interesting looks around.
Okay, Bruno pulls out a notepad that he has in this little apron, hands it to you, Tommy, with a small pencil. Lou, what is it? What is it you're looking for?
More just trying to get away from the crowd so I can investigate for myself, trying to just get away from the group as quiet as I can and just look around the immediate area, see if anything else sticks out.
Heard, yeah. As you sort of break from this little group, looking at these symbols, you can find a place where someone was clearly lounging. Maybe sacks of produce were pulled together. It's clear someone was very comfortable here. Of course, piecing together the same information you just saw, maybe drops of alcohol in and out, maybe a beer bottle here and there. It looks like someone was more or less wasted down here. But that is all else that you see. For the three, looking at the symbols, if you'd like to give me, if Tommy did point it out, if you'd like to give me...
Yeah, Tommy, I pointed it out, everybody.
Perfect. I'm looking for a role that is either archaeology, anthropology, appraise, or history. So, once more, we have archaeology, anthropology, appraise, or history. Ooh, Tommy's on a roll, man. What'd you roll?
You had a hard success on a history check.
So, Tommy, you can immediately recall this as old drawings of those first on the Americas, Native Americans, old pieces of, the design choices themselves are very reminiscent of what you might recall from maybe a specific set of study that you did for a piece with a radio show. It is very reminiscent of early America.
It's strange, fellas. Back when we did a radio play, in Chicago, and it was a Western kind of thing. You had cowboys and natives, and we talked about. I didn't write it, of course, but the guy we brought in to write it, he mentioned how there was symbols like this, and he mentioned a sun symbol, an arrow, all these. I mean, this looks like what he was talking about. I don't know what this is doing. A million miles up in the sky surrounding a blood spot, but yeah, it's some some Native American symbols. It's bizarre. I don't know what it's doing here.
Do you know if there's some sort of ritual symbols? Do they have any religious connotations?
Do I know that?
Or would anyone know? Does anybody have any sort of religious studies?
I will ask for an occult roll from everyone if you'd like.
Occult, okay.
I can go for you too, Mike, if you'd like. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Lou.
Oh, man. All right. Okay, cool.
Oh, snap.
What? What?
Dude, what? Come on.
I'll just end the game here. You've already broke it down, dude. That's holy shit.
Mind meld.
Yeah, honey. Good job. Good job, friend.
Nice. Okay. All right. With two. Okay. So what just happened with Jack O'Connor and Lou Hornsby? We just saw two occult rolls. Now, if you may know, occult typically starts at 5 points with Call of Cthulhu, and that's what it is for both of them. And they both rolled a 5. So that is a success.
That's crazy.
Okay. With that, it is very clear in the pattern this is in. Of course, you as a player would know, but your characters wouldn't. But they do know that this is some sort of exorcism ritual. It's not, from what you know about it, it's religious in the loosest of terms. But it definitely has something to do with some kind of an exorcism itself, a removal process.
Jack takes off his glasses. Hey, Lou, do you know what this is? Because I do.
You do.
Yeah.
I have a hunch. I'm not necessarily studying this type of field, but I feel like I came across this in a book or two. What do you think it is, my friend?
I know what it is. I actually saw something like this in Europe back in 1917. It was crazy. We had come upon this trench, you see, and we started moving through it. We came up to this dugout. We popped a couple of grenades in to clear it out. As we went in, there was nobody there, but there was a large blood pattern on the floor. And there was some carvings, a couple of dolls on the floor. This is definitely some sort of exorcism ritual has been done here.
Exorcism like the church does?
In a way.
That's some creepy shit.
I would say that was the same as that book I read back in school. We must be looking at the same thing then. Not that I didn't believe you, but where do you think we should go from here?
So let me unmute myself and OBS there. Just as you say that, you see a small framed individual come down, glasses, more or less shaven head, suit, pop in through the door and call out to each of you, "Can I have you all join me, please?" Quickly.
What's going on?
Right this way, I'll explain everything, please. He appears, Bruno acknowledges him, doesn't seem surprised by him at all, and he does motion for you to join him.
I'd like to stay towards the back of the group of Jack and just... You woke up here. Are you okay, friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. Real quick, I want to look at this blood real quick. Jack moves his fingers across the floor where the blood is to just see if it's fresh or if it's old.
Give me a first aid, medicine, natural world. We'll go with those three.
Okay.
Whatever you'd like. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Extreme success. 6 versus 50.
Perfect. So, with that extreme success, oh man, you this might even trigger something, a memory from the war for Jack, as he runs his fingers, analyzes what's going on down here. This happened probably, if it's about 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, there's light coming from the outside. This happened maybe around 1 or 2 a.m. you'd place it at. This happened from not from any sort of gunshot. You look at this, there's no splatter, there's no trauma from blunt force trauma. There's no layout of the blood in that case. This is very clearly has dripped essentially down from a body, from what you would believe to be an incision.
Hey Lou, check this out. This is definitely fresh.
The blood is fresh. Okay, sure, but I just want to make sure. Again, I heard you woke up here. I lost some friends to serve in the Great War, so you're okay. Blood aside.
Yeah.
We're in a cargo hold. A lot of people work here. I'm sure there's blood every once in a while, but
I'm fine. Thankfully, I am kind of weirded out by this whole incident, but I have seen worse. You know what I'm saying?
You think this blood is other than someone just working down here? I mean, I know we saw the symbols and all, but you don't think it's all connected, do you?
Well,
it's a lot of blood for one place.
Oh,
yeah, Pops. Hey, Pops, I wouldn't worry about this, man. You just go on, all right?
Okay, whatever you say, soldier boy.
But Lou, and I say this whispering to Lou, keep your eyes open. There's something going on that's fishy around here.
I appreciate the heads up. I also saw the symbols. Okay, yeah, I guess so. It seems, I mean, haven't been bit in quite a while, at least not by a pretty lady. Get my drift. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes open. I appreciate the heads up, my friend.
So the four of you are at this point following this small-framed individual. There's a very structured appearance to their clothing, as well as how they hold themselves. As they're leading you, they're talking as they're walking, turning back to you. I am Peter Newman. I, of course, run the accounts for the captain. I have some information that I believe is pertinent to what is happening and what happened last night. If you can join me in my office, as he keeps walking. Once you get there, he does close the door behind him. To reference exactly where on the map this might be, and of course, let me open that up and close this. So, referencing the map, we are headed to the admin office, located at number 9 on our respective map here. And he does, of course, bring you all in together and begin to talk about the events. And he does... We believe we might know who is responsible. We've had a couple of attendants check on everyone who should be on this vessel, despite the four of you, as you're working to assist in matters. We can't find an occupant. This should be a David Smallwood, but there's no one in their bunk. There's no one in the dining hall. They're nowhere to be found, and we have searched what feels like every corner of this ship. I know Bruno mentioned that the door was locked. The other key would have been here. He points to a little box over against the wall. It's locked, but you'd assume this is where all the keys are stored for anything that might be locked on the ship. You also, looking past him, know that, or you can see ledgers kind of on a couple tables behind him. This is a relatively kind of smaller office, and you start to make out little sheets, maybe telegrams, things like that, on the desk to his left.
You said pieces of paper.
What did you say you did here again? You ran the accounts.
I am Captain Maya's accountant, yes.
Have you heard anything about people or a person sneaking on board?
The only one we know of would have been Clarence himself. Do you know of another individual?
No. Of course, it'd be impossible to sneak on the ship. I was just curious if you've heard of any of the rumors. So you said Mr. Smallwood is the one that you have been unable to find?
We've accounted, of course, aside from yourselves, accounted for as many occupants as we could. David is, again, nowhere to be found.
Do we know anything about him? Where he's from? What he did for his career?
We know he was involved he was a man of science, history, archaeology, maybe anthropology, that sort of field, but we don't dive too deep into anyone's past life. Just, of course, we want to make sure a ticket is paid for and the person we are allowing on board is not going to cause any trouble.
Right, that's very, very true.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you said he's into history and archaeology. So, well, he ain't around. I wonder if he's got any documents that have some more of those symbols on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I know, Bruno, you may not want to be here while we rummage, but I'm thinking we should do some rummaging.
When you say the word rummage, my friend, what do you mean by
Look, to poke around a little bit, just kind of see what we can find.
in
here in the room,
the
in the
unaccounted for Mr. Smallwood's room.
yeah, see if there's any connection with the symbols. I mean, history buff and historical symbols. I mean, there's a connection there, right? I mean, there has to be. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws here, but I mean,
Mr. Newman, is there any way we could get access to this room?
Yes. David was assigned to 12B. We, of course, have keys to each of the rooms, and give me a moment. And he does go over to the key box, pulls out 12B, hands it to you.
You have keys to every room.
Well, for full access to the ship, yes, of course.
Sorry, just clarifying question. Just out of safety, considering how much we're doing for this crew, is it possible that I could take my key, just so I'm dealing with access to my room, with all the weirdness going around? As I was attacked last night, I want to feel extra safe in my room.
Give me some sort of conversation roll. However you attempt to do this. It sounds like it might be persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Success, 4870.
Okay. All right. Yes, we do apologize again for that occurrence. We do hope you're feeling well. And I can't, of course, this wouldn't happen in all cases, but here you are. And he does go to find your key, gives it to you.
Thank you. I deeply appreciate this, and of course, I'm hoping to help you figure out this case of the missing Mr. Smallwood. Let's go ahead and investigate his room. Tommy, Jack, you and Pop, of course. Do you feel this is the correct course of action? Again, I don't think we have a background in law enforcement, but Tommy, you seem like a smart fella. You think this is the correct
I'm just
course of action?
saying, can't hurt to have a look around. I'm not saying I know anybody who knows somebody who would do something like this, but being from the mean streets of Chicago, as I've said, you learn to keep your eyes open for things.
Yeah, I've noticed that as I pass through Chicago. But yeah, just a casual perusal might be beneficial. Big words, I know.
Yeah, Pop smart.
Pop smart. Pop smoke.
Yep.
Pop smart.
Yep.
Anyways, 12B, you said, Mr. Smallwood.
Yes.
Mr. Newman.
12B.
Yes. As you head that way, you get to the Hall of Cabin Doors. You find it, big brass letters there, 12B. You put the key in, spin the lock, and open it up. You do see the same layout as your room would be. Rather small. You can maybe fit, really, it's just big enough for one large, human frame to then, of course, investigate. But you're all there. So, doing the obvious, of course, looking in a little bit closer. Go ahead. Let me, of course, reference what I have here. Yeah. So, give me, I suppose a spot hidden is the one we're looking for, right? Whoever would like to do it. Okay, Tommy, yet again, taking it away. Perfect.
I'll just to see.
Yeah, go for it.
Nope.
Pop,
80 was 25 fail.
You're just peeking over shoulders, looking into the room.
All right, what do I find?
Tommy, going in first here, taking the initiative. You do find, very obviously, which all of you could have seen this, there is a book that you do make out to be a diary, kind of on the little end table that's with the bed there. But as you do look a little bit closer, especially with that extreme success, you look tucked under the mattress, not under the bed, but under the mattress. You find a long knife. It's ornamental in nature. I mean, it's got etchings in the blade, and there's also the handle itself is of what you'd reckon to be some sort of brass, some sort of metal, with a couple, ornamental things kind of embedded in it. And you do, with that extreme, you can make out traces of blood around the edge. You also find a telegram.
Okay, I would like to first gently pick the knife up and set it on top of the bed
Okay.
so everybody could see it. And I'm going to say, well, I think we found what caused that little bit of blood spatter. And then I want to, you said there was a diary as well?
Correct.
I'm going to hand the diary to Pop. And I'm saying,
Okay.
Pop, why don't you look through this and I'll look through the telegram and then we can kind of all, show and tell.
Okay.
And Jack, you seem to know a lot about blood. Maybe you can, I don't know, take a look at this here knife. Or is it a sword or is it a, bladed weapon?
Let me look at it.
Tommy,
And
you got the telegram?
I got the telegram.
Okay, sorry. What were you about to do, Jack?
I just wanted to see if this was a knife, a bayonet, a machete. What kind of weapon is this? What bladed weapon is this? And also, is there some sort of iron that I'm smelling from it? Particularly blood.
To identify a smell, that is going to take a natural world or medicine. As far as the blade itself, you could identify this with, at least the structure of it. It's not going in on itself. There's no folding happening. It's not large enough to be a machete. You would identify it as close to almost like a bayonet blade, but not designed to be affixed to a weapon. It's got a secure handle. As far as the telegram, if you'd like to read that aloud, feel free. Tommy?
Let's see, filed 29 October 1928. David, M.A. is stolen. We believe culprits will try to smuggle it into Europe. Suspect they will use one of those fast airships to be as quick as they can. You must stop them. You know what can happen if it falls into the wrong hands or is left unattended. CT.
Sorry, Tommy. Say M.A. was stolen?
Yeah, M-A. And then it was
M-A.
sent by a guy named CT. Now, wasn't that kid who's missing's name Clarence? I don't know what some kid's doing sending the good doctor a telegram, but I don't know. I could just be paranoid about all this, but...
And we never heard a last name, right?
Okay, so it's not the same last name.
Unless it's a fake name.
That's also,
It is,
but then when we change the first initial too. I know I know that'd be the smart thing to do. But anyway,
sorry, Tommy, just to reiterate, M-A was sent from a man with the initials CT.
And it was stolen. According to CT, and he's trying to contact our boy David here.
Gotcha. And who wrote the letter again, or the telegram rather?
It just says from CT, and we got a counter number, MN5624. Just a regular grade commercial telegram, looks like.
Mr. Newman.
The same eagle from my passport. I see. Okay. I thought you were talking about another bird from another country that perhaps we are going to. That would be on their passport during around this time, or starting to be around this time.
Mm-hmm. Pops has the diary. I feel like there's gonna be a. He'll go ahead and crack it.
I'm out. Matt, we've lost your audio.
I can hear him.
Thank you. Yeah, no, okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I am back. No, I mute myself. Sorry about that, Ian. I'll back up. Yeah, no, I mute myself in the stream so no one else is with OBS. Yeah. So what we were talking about is there is 3 items. Passport was found by Jack, which I brought up on screen there, and then diary was handed to Pop, and that catches us up. So Pop has the diary in hand, and he has opened it up. It is illegible on a lot of these pages. It's as if, it's specific to one person, how only one person could interpret it. It's, kind of notes on the side, symbols, things like that. However, as you continue to flip through, you can make out what appears to be similar symbols to what Pop saw prior with his group here. And let me go ahead and show you what it is you find. Oh, hang on, sorry, I just realized. Whoops. All right. So
Are we all seeing this or just Pop?
Oops. Oh wait,
I can show it to.
It is Pop, but I imagine, if
I'll Pop will hold it down. Everybody gather around, and it'll kind of show you all. And then what Pop will, of course he starts at the front, but he'll specifically point out the same symbols, such as the sun, the bird, the man, the things we've seen before.
It says, plunge the knife through the heart and cut it out to heal the victim. I mean, I've heard of open heart surgery, but this is ridiculous. I mean, you can't just take somebody's heart out and stab it and expect it to be okay. This is insanity.
We don't. No, never mind. It's silly. Jack, you said the pool of blood was probably from from your background, it was probably from more of a slash or a stab than it was from like a hit, correct?
That'd be right. Yeah. It was no gunshot wound, and it was not from anything that would cause a larger, I guess, contusion, if you would. But is Bruno around at all?
No, but I'm glad you are paying attention because you start to hear footsteps, heels coming down the hallway. You see in a different dress. In this case, it is a bright blue with a floral pattern. It is the same face of the individual you met at dinner as she approaches. There's something on her face that she's not surprised by anything. She's holding, of course, a cigarette, but with the device that, of course, lets you hold it at a longer distance. The extend a cigarette as she does walk up with a bit of a smirk. Well, what have you boys found yourself getting into?
Good evening. Good evening. We're just perusing around.
Well, considering that is not any of your bunks, it seems you're doing a little bit more than just perusing.
Listen, we've been asked by the captain to look into some matters that really it's kind of a boring situation. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, well, I wouldn't consider a missing passenger boring.
I
Well, I'm
see
sure
you,
he's somewhere around
you're up
here.
to
you
date.
know.
All right.
Well, you know, this
What is
pretty-
it you have there? Tommy, is it?
Oh, just a telegram I was going to send my mom once I got to Germany.
Oh, may I see? That sounds very sweet. May I?
Oh, it's pretty personal.
No,
Well,
no.
talking about the kids back home, and my youngest daughter Susie, she just got her tonsils removed, and you know I was a little worried about her for making this trip, and but it just gonna be checking up on that. I went ahead and wrote it out now, you know, but it's got some personal stuff.
And while you look at that, I need to excuse myself to the restroom, if I may. And Jack is going to leave the cabin to try to go find Bruno.
Understood. The rest of you are speaking with this individual.
Did we ever find out her name again?
Yeah. So
It
she.
was,
Yeah. It's so it's Ruth. Ruth
Ruth.
Davis is who's speaking to you. She introduced herself at the dinner table. So, yeah, and you recall speaking with him, but there's still that very confident look on their face. And she does say, "Well, considering this cabin would have gone to someone I know by the name of David, I can't recall any of our names being David, so is he a friend of yours, or?"
well, you know, like our buddy Jack there was saying, the captain asked us to kind of look around, you know, do a little so and so, and seeing as how Mr. David isn't in this particular cabin at this particular moment, we're just kind of sweeping through, checking everything out, just kind of doing a bit of a round, as you know, as they do.
Well, I will leave you be, of course. I don't mean to intrude, of course.
Oh, no, any time. And so looking for that resume when you get the chance.
Of course. Well, I do hope you have the best of luck finding David, as he never did board this vessel, but good day, gentlemen. And she does walk away.
I'm going to very slowly, like, shut the door and just kind of look back and go, something's going on with that broad. I mean, this is
She.
I would
she's
have to
waitress at dinner.
Have to agree. Yeah.
For a waitress, she sure seems to know a lot about what's going on to the ship.
So I would like to say, as Tommy closed the door, it's a rather small cabin, so you're all like shoulder to shoulder in here.
Now, maybe I should open the door back up.
No.
Just get- Yeah. Just get the
So,
door back.
to reiterate, of course, now there's a lot of information that was thrown at you as well as anyone listening or watching. What we did find, of course, is this long blade, but it is much more of a dagger or knife than anything else. The diary page that replicated very similar symbols to the ground symbols that were traced by Tommy, as well as a telegram addressed to David and a passport to David with what would typically be a picture of the individual ripped off. We just see the top left portion instead of the bottom right. Other than that, we did just receive information from Ruth mentioning that, well, it seems she knew David and never saw him board the vessel.
It is very weird that his passport and his diary and other personal belongings are on the ship if he never boarded it. Wouldn't you say, Tommy? Wouldn't you say, Tommy?
I mean, it's like he got on the thing, left all of his stuff, and then got off before anybody saw him. Is that? I mean, either she's lying, or she's stupid, and she doesn't look stupid.
She seems actually pretty smart.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It
So
seems concocted.
Yeah. So
calculated.
I mean, so I think this man was here. I think he did board. I think he unloaded all of his baggage. I think he wrote something in his diary. I think he looked over this mysterious telegram he got. and then something happened, and that knife wound up in somebody. But just me jumping to conclusions, to be fair. But this is not adding up. It's not adding up. I mean, what do you think, Pop? You're the world traveler here. I mean, you gotta know.
I was gonna ask out of character. Does anybody have psychology? Or put anything in this?
Decent amount.
That's like inside. That might help around that person.
Yeah, definitely.
Next time
If
we see her, or it's probably a little too late now, but next time.
Yeah. Next time, or
You can even roll one now for the prior meeting if you'd like.
Sure, if you
kind of
don't
breaking
mind.
down her departure and that look on her face.
Everyone cross your fingers.
Oh,
Extreme
shit.
Success. Thank you.
perfect.
Thank you for
Okay.
everyone who crossed their fingers in the
Shazam.
chat.
Zam.
Fatality.
Watching this individual's behavior and face and listening to their voice, Lou really picks up on this as well, given their prior knowledge. As Lou is, if you'd like to give a little bit of backstory, Lou.
Sure, unbeknownst to the rest of the passengers. Again, earlier I said I was just a businessman from New York, but I am a undercover agent from the Justice Department's Bureau of Investigation, going into Germany to really try and further the nation's interests. Undercover, of course, trying to pose as an American businessman, really trying to aid the reconstruction of Germany post-World War I, and really trying to see what this whole new party kind of that's gaining enthusiasm over in Germany. It's trying to understand the political system of this post-World War I Germany and Europe as a whole. But since I have had a background in the Bureau of Investigation, I've seen a lot of people, and I've learned to read people pretty well.
And you do just that, yeah. And, I mean, watching this person they're not guilty of anything. You identified that immediately with that extreme success. They do obviously seem to have more information than you do, but they weren't lying when they said they knew David was not on this vessel. They never were. You can make out that they have a good bit of knowledge on a few of the faces here, but they keep it to themselves. Perhaps maybe for their benefit, whether it be with their job or maybe they're knowledgeable about the panic something might cause. You do know that she was telling the truth, for sure. David never existed, at least not here. And that's certainly what I can give you for now, yeah.
Tommy,
Cool.
it's hard to explain. I consider you and I friends now at this point, but
Sure.
I don't think the problem's lying in terms of this Mr. Smallwood never boarded the ship. I think we need to start thinking less about what happened to David when he got onto the ship, but more of why is his belongings here when he never boarded the ship. This broad doesn't seem like she's lying, hiding something for sure, but I don't think she's the I don't know if she's necessarily on our team or not, if you're catching what I'm saying. I'm not sure if she's on the Cubs or a secret agent. I know you're from Chicago, so
I am from Chicago. Well, Pops and Lou, we could go ask her about it. I mean, just do we want to rope any more people into this weird?
where did Jack go?
Jack, speaking of, you are walking, of course, to find Bruno. Last place you saw him was in the cargo hold before you followed Peter. If you could... I'd like a roll from you, and it is going to be... Perfect, yeah, jump roll. 28 versus 20. That's exactly what I was going to ask for. No, I guess I will ask for a spot hidden.
Oh, wow.
Classic.
A classic roll.
With a success, as you're walking back to Bruno, you're passing the smoking lounge, you make out a very familiar figure. It's an individual wearing the same clothes that you once saw them in. It is the same brown suit of the individual who was, a victim of an attempted pickpocketing. The very nervous-looking individual from prior evening disappear around a corner very quickly.
They appear around the corner.
No, they disappear around the corner. You can make out the same
disappear.
hair, the same brown suit, as they do disappear, yeah.
I'm going to still continue to look for Bruno.
Okay. You do proceed to Bruno, or at least where you last left them in the cargo hold, and he is just coming out of the smoking lounge there behind the cargo.
Hey, Bruno.
Yes.
You got a sec?
Yes, sure.
I'm sorry I didn't get finished talking to you. I had a couple of more questions for you.
Okay.
You said your father's a doctor, right?
Yes.
What does he practice?
Urology.
Right, and where?
In New Jersey.
You said your parents were from Europe.
Yes.
What part of Europe?
Well, my father, I know this is less than desirable to hear, but he is German. My mother's is from England.
I see. Listen, there's no shame in that. We found some things up in one of the cabins. Hey, listen, there's a guest around here that keeps circling. Very, very suspicious looking guy. I saw him earlier while we were eating dinner. And a very interesting looking fella.
Can you describe him?
Yeah, and Jack goes on to describe this individual who seems to be.
I believe. Well, we saw him yesterday. That would have been David, we believe. After checking his passport, that would have been Mr. Smallwood, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, listen, Bruno, I gotta make it to Germany, all right? I need you to follow me right now, all right? I feel like I found David.
Okay, yes, let's... I'm not sure how I can help, but let's go.
And Jack's gonna lead Bruno back to where he saw, or what he thinks he saw, was David.
Perfect. That would have been near the smoking lounge. You round the corner from the cargo hold after leaving that door. Coming in, you do see no presence, no body of any individual around here, but of course the windows are in front of you with the smoking lounge to your left.
I want to take that corner that I saw that figure go by.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take that corner and see if I can see anybody.
When you turn the corner, there's an attendant, same black bow tie with a white shirt, looks at you rather surprised and stops and then continues. You wouldn't know their name, you don't recognize them from yesterday evening. It just seems like one of the faces, but you don't recognize that brown suit.
Hey, excuse me.
Yes?
Listen, I'm looking for one of my friends. I believe they just walked by here. They seemed a little bit on edge.
I'm sorry, I haven't, we don't pay much attention to guests. Bruno, do you know who he's speaking of? And Bruno then looks. He claims to know where David is, which he should be just like any other occupant, I suppose, but It would have been a brown suit, the hair shaggy. Yes, we saw him, I believe, heading upstairs to the first deck.
All right, thank you. And I'm gonna start heading towards first deck.
Okay. Yeah, so you get up there. How about the other three? What are we up to?
Well,
I'm with the. We're all together still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us three.
yeah.
At this point, I'm really trying, outside of conversation, trying not to blow my cover. So I'm going to try and stay a little more in the background at this point. Let Tommy or Pop lead the charge. Preferably Tommy.
Yeah, I can also break out into sort of stealth if I need to as well. So yeah.
My stealth skill is, it's 30, so it's not great, but it's not like the worst. Tommy's he's not a spry guy, so.
Not necessarily stealth, more just in terms of like the what do we do next.
Oh,
Try
yeah,
not to be too vocal right now.
Well, gentlemen, I think we need to figure out, do we want to go find Jack? Do we want to go find, what was her name, Ruth? I mean, we definitely found some stuff here. I just don't know who we're supposed to tell it to.
I don't think we should leave this stuff here. Do you think?
No, I think we should take it with us. That's probably a better idea.
Pop, do you have a bag by any means? Bag where you store your things?
Yeah, I keep a bag. Well, it's a small bag, and he pulls out like a little plastic baggie. There is not much in there. But this is where I keep my stuff.
Well, the telegram. I want to look at the bag. Does it look like it's very humid and wet inside the bag, or does it just look pretty dry?
No.
Oh God,
Wait, which bag?
Well, his little plastic baggie.
it's dry. It's
a dry
pretty
bag.
dry.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's not a wet-
gosh.
it's not
Why
a
don't
wet
we
bag.
I'm like, hey, Pop, why don't we let's keep this telegram in there. How about that?
All right, I
The
keep it
journal
safe.
too. The journal too, Pop. Hold on to this for us, friend.
Nobody is taking these things from me. If there's one thing about Pop, I keep my stuff close to my chest. Literally.
It sticks to
Tom-
his chin.
Tommy, what do you think about the this big machete over here? We should take this with us too, sure.
That's gonna be hard. Yeah, that's not gonna fit in Pop's plastic bag. I can tell you that.
I feel bad leaving stuff here, especially with everything that's like been happening to David.
You also can't just go walking around with a big ass knife. At least not in the open. Let's see here. And like, I think when I got back dressed, I'm back wearing like a suit and everything. I'm gonna kind of, am I able to tuck it into like the side of my jacket, the knife?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck it.
This is like a big knife or like machete, right? It's not too
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've all acquired everything from there. Jack is coming back to the same deck that you all are on. You can even see him coming up the stairs there as you're tucking everything away. And of course, Jack is knowingly themselves pursuing this individual. Jack, you look everywhere on deck A, missing. That same brown suit they're talking about is apparently gone. Eventually, in the reading room, you find that coat hung up on the back of a chair or just kind of tossed in there. It appears they more or less knew, maybe looking over their shoulder, someone was looking for them. By the end of the evening, this is what you're left with, and the captain asks for a private meal with each of you to catch up on all the information. Of course, if you might limit any information, please let me know, but he is asking to be filled in to see how it might be coming along, which you do.
I'd like to stick. Is it possible to have a word with the crew before we have this private dinner?
With who?
With with Pop, Tommy, and Jack.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Like a private word with as private as we can, at least.
Oh yeah, you can 100% do that.
And we know about the dinner, correct? Like on the way to dinner or something.
Sure, yeah, right before
Right.
maybe he's been summoned, yeah.
And I'd like to assume that we've caught Jack up on everything happening while he's gone, and vice
Yes.
versa as well, correct?
Yeah, you're all on the same page.
So we have this dude, the captain, who's wanting to understand everything that we learned. Are we telling him everything? I'm not quite sure. It's Ruth that brought on this crew. She seems a little sketchy, and with that one guy getting attacked, I don't know if we can trust the captain and his crew. But I also don't necessarily like withholding information from our authorities. What do y'all think?
Still find it weird that he asked us all to do this in the first place.
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's kind of out of left field. I'm not even supposed to be here. I got a confession. Believe it or not, I didn't actually pay to be on this flight.
Oh, Pop, I had no idea.
No idea, Pop.
When I was pulling you in from outside while we were up in the air, I had no idea that you weren't supposed to be on this flight. But hey,
yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I mean, I know you're supposed to go to Orlando and everything, but
yeah. So believe it or not, that's why. So again, us specifically being pulled into this in and of itself is a little bit strange.
Pop. We had another passenger that said he wasn't supposed to be on the ship. Not trying to insinuate any right or wrong doing here, but he happened to see any other people coming on board with you. Did you, Pop?
I kind of booked it at the beginning, but let me recall. Is there any check that I can see for this?
Definitely.
No?
If you want to provide a shoot, I'll ask for a probably if not history, then I'll say education.
Let's do education.
Okay.
58 versus 74 success.
74 education.
Pop's education 74.
He's lived a long and storied life.
As he's locked himself onto the side, he does make out the same young man that he saw sneaking on, but behind him he is being followed by a similar man, the same man that was approached you all at dinner there, who is at this point, with that success, pulling out this passport and ripping that photo off of that passport, and then opening up a window quite near Pop, and then throwing that picture to the ground there. He then proceeds, looking around over his shoulders, to then disappear, following this young man with him. But you do know, that man was on here long before any other passenger was. Both of these.
There are three.
Share that information.
There are three people on this vessel that were not supposed to be here. Pop, the person who disappeared, and the one person who followed the person not the person who disappeared, the person who attacked me. Correct?
As far as the staff remembers, David did board this ship.
David. Gotcha. So just the two. It was me and the person who attacked me, whose name I am not able to remember right now. Clarence. Just Pop and Clarence, or the two that snuck on?
You can DM that information. You're not sure what the case is with the other individual, but the staff keeps saying that David boarded, but as the woman said, he did not.
Cool.
Yeah.
Back to the group now. If all of the staff, other than that of Ruth, everyone else thinks he boarded, I think it might be in our best interest to continue along that line of thought, if you will. Let's say David got on board, something happened to him, and we'll leave it at that. We're still trying to figure out what. We looked in his room, we didn't find anything important. And if I'm being honest with you fellas, I think the less the captain and this crew know about, the better. I'm still getting the heebie-jeebies from that Ruth gal. I'm still getting the heebie-jeebies about this guy, Max, that also got attacked just like me. I think there's something going on with this crew. I'm not sure if I quite trust him, and I don't want anyone getting, not that apparently I'm the fucking cop now, but I don't want anyone getting involved in this investigation.
And with that, I would like to leave it for this first round, as there is quite a bit of information, and we have turned this, big knife, as in chat, thank you, Price, There is quite a bit of information to process and go over that has been given not only by Ruth, but also the story itself, what we've uncovered thus far, and there is certainly more to happen, as this story is very bountiful in terms of information. And I will say, its author, of course, Romans Popovs, has been very thorough and detailed, and there's a lot more to uncover. So we are going to leave that to a second session, and I do appreciate the four of you joining me up until now. If you'd like to plug anything, now is the time. But of course, I don't mean to keep everyone up on this wonderful Wednesday night. Yeah,
Awesome.
So London, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I will plug one thing.
Go for
So
it.
tomorrow, as we're streaming this now on what's the night?
Wednesday, 10,
Wednesday.
11 Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, Thursday, the 9th, I'm going to be on the Better Than Heroes Twitch. They are a D&D 5e Spelljammer stream. So I'm going to be guesting on there. And it's going to be very fun. That's tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific. So if you want to check that out, Space D&D. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Michael, you got anything? Are you excited for next week?
Just very excited for next week. This is my first time on Spot Hidden. So I just want to say a huge thank you to the Spot Hidden crew, everyone watching, and I guess the other thing I have to plug is to make sure you throw those subs in and gift as much as you are able to. But again, thank you so much for having me for watching.
Hell yeah, not the first time, Michael, by any means. Price.
Hey, similar to Michael, this is my second time on Spot Hidden,
Hell
and thank you guys so much for having me. As always, it was a blast. Really excited to continue this. I do stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PriceVA. I'll probably be either going live tomorrow or Friday night. And also this Saturday, bit of a weird but kind of cool event. If you're into Pokemon, actually since the start of the year, me and 15 other coaches have done a weekly draft league where we basically all drafted Pokemon like the NFL draft to make a team. And this week is the beginning of the postseason. This Saturday's beginning of the postseason. So
Nice.
that'll be on my buddy, the Knighted Squirrel. That is his twitch.tv/Knighted Squirrel. He'll be hosting that. That'll be this Saturday, starting at about 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that's going to be really cool. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for having me, and looking forward to more. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah. Huddy, you're up.
Very awesome.
You got anything coming up?
Yeah. Hey guys. Thank you all for watching. I am Hudson. You can follow me at huddy.hubs, of course. And there's really nothing coming up.
Yes, there is.
Or is there? Stay tuned.
Definitely stay tuned for next week. I believe Tuesday, right, gentlemen? We're planning for a return of the Pirates of the Skies, correct, London?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that's a yes all around, and of course part 2 of this, there's a lot of stuff going on here which is welcome, but of course we want to space that out. So if that is the case, of course we'd love to have you, Michael and Price. Thank you both for joining us, and
Absolutely.
it's going to be a great second round. And of course stay tuned for other plans as Spot Hidden is introducing something else, which I'm happy to near as we get closer and closer to as I finish up plans. So without further ado, we're going to close this out, and we can't wait to see you next time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.